The forest. A forest is an area of land dominated by trees. The global tapestry of forests has one versatile characteristic. Every forest conquers its landscape and shapes the actuality of every plant and animal living in its shadows. The forest, with its majestic beauty, isn't just for Earth's aesthetics alone. It serves a significant role in the whole ecology of things, which sustains life on Earth in general. Types of forests. Temperate forests are found across eastern North America and Eurasia. The four distinct seasons in these areas and the latitudes that they are in produces and supports a wide variety of flora and fauna, such as maples, oaks, and birch, deer, squirrels, and bears. Tropical forests are located near the equator, such as Southeast Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Central America, blooming fully in biodiversity which thrives in temperatures between 20 to 31 degrees centigrade. It supports a vast plethora of plants and animals such as large predatory birds and apes, wild ferns, orchids, and low-crowned trees. Boreal forests are considered one of the world's largest land biomes, which are situated across Siberia, Scandinavia, and North America. They have a very important role in removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Temperatures in these zones are below freezing. Conifers, spruce, fir, and pine trees thrive in here. Moose and deer are ever so present in the area. Native birds migrate to warmer venues during frigid winter seasons. The significant role forests play in our world. Aside from the beauty it gives to the overall landscape of the earth, there are quite significant roles forests play in the world. These are the following. A dense, widespread tree cover also reduces wind drastically during storms and weather disturbances. The world's forest plays a major role in absorbing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, helping to maintain the oxygen level conducive to life, thus making it a major part of the global ventilation system that reduces greenhouse gas effects. 45% of all prescription drugs contain ingredients originating in the flora of the rainforest. Medicines for leukemia is derived from the rosy periwinkle that grows in Madagascar. Steroids for contraceptives and L-Dopa used in treating Parkinson's disease. Scientists believe that jungles contain more than 1 million identified plant species that can be an invaluable pharmaceutical find in disease prevention and sustaining the quality of life. Forests are sources of new food crops that is yet to be discovered. Corn, wheat, and rice are just some of the many which was discovered in it. Forests are a valuable source of infrastructure materials that supports development and progress of any given region. Houses, furniture, bridges, buildings, and the likes all came from an industry which is forest related. Even the paper that we use in our homes, schools, and offices came from the forest. Threats that our forests face. There is a clear and imminent threat that our forests face today. These are as follows. Human population. With a population of almost 7.9 billion, our forests face the threat of converting raw lands to urban development centers that can house and accommodate communal needs of the increasing population. In addition, progress demands not only for wood but also something called multiple use. Timber, fuel, and pulp, safe habitats for wildlife, and recreation areas for people. Furthermore, forest land conversion into agricultural to meet the growing demands for food of the people is also a factor that leads to forest exploitation and degradation. Deforestation. Deforestation or forest clearance is the removal of forest or stand of trees from land that is then converted to non-forest use. Deforestation can involve conversion of forest land to farms, ranches, or urban use. An alarming and controversial practice for one is known as clear cutting. It involves the wholesale cutting of large tracts of trees at once, leaving a temporarily savage landscape. Mammals that fed or nested in the canopy are forced to migrate to new areas to the areas they lose their habitats. Also, as a result of clear cutting, it creates soil erosion. Wildfires. Wildfires burn with such intensity that they consume all the ground litter, exposing the soil and sharply reducing its absorbency. This means it cannot hold water anymore that much, thus it leads to land erosion. When this happens, the topsoil and the ashes are washed down to the streams that affects the water quality and harms aquatic creatures. Air pollution. One of the major threats to the forest is air pollution. Industrial emissions of sulfur dioxide gas, which came from fossil fuel combustion, damage plants and trees. When sulfur dioxide emissions is high, it can produce acid rain, a precipitation that has been made abnormally acid by chemical reaction with airborne pollutants. In the long run, it impairs the soil's neutralizing capacity, making it hard to produce healthy plants and trees. Finding ecologically sound solutions for our precious forests. With the current problems that our forests face, these are some of the solutions we have. Silviculture. The process of developing and raising varieties of trees selected for their ability to meet various human needs. The process relies heavily on plant breeding. They identify superior variety and take cuttings out of it, then do grafting and nurture until it produces seeds. These seedlings eventually will be planted to commercial forests that caters to human consumptions. Such forest farms include exclusive hectares of trees meant to be used as paper. Reforestation is the natural or intentional restocking of existing forests and woodlands that have been depleted. This requires commitment in legislature and law enforcement. The forest involves an adherence to a commitment that for every tree cut, a corresponding seedling must be planted in order to replenish balance and sustainability. Prescribed fire. The deliberate setting of fire in portions of the forest to achieve a variety of goals. Preparing seed beds, controlling certain tree diseases, manipulating wildfire habitats, reducing the hazard of wildfire. This is done to clean up slash after lumbering operations that might be a fire hazard and to create seedbed operations. Conclusion. The forest with all its majestic beauty holds an invaluable promise to sustain life on Earth. Its resources gave us an astounding array of flora and fauna, which is the center of biodiversity. These plants and animals are sources of food, shelter, clothing, and supplies us generously with medicines that combat dreaded diseases such as cancer. The future of mankind relies on the health of its forests. Forests take care of many living creatures, that includes us. It is but right to take care of our forests, appreciate it, bask in its magnificence, love our forests.